Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This is your brother Ahmad Ubari making this video. Today is Friday, the 2nd of October 2020. We are at the Sabah Al Ahmad Masjid and Islamic Education Center within the Canberra Islamic Center complex. Today is the first Friday since the death of the Emir of Kuwait, who is named after this masjid is named after him. Sheikh Sabah is 91 years old. He reigned for 16 years, and we are about to do the Juma Khutba. And our brother here is the architect, brother Shamsul Huda. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, so, inshallah, we'll interview after Juma, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
الحمد لله ثم الحمد لله الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له الحمد لله المحيي المميت الحمد لله المبدئ المعيد الحمد لله العزيز الغفار ذي العرش المجيد فعال لما يريد سبحانه وتعالى يخلق ما يشاء ويختار ما كان لهم الخيار سبحانه وتعالى يقلب الليل على النهار وهو العزيز الغفار الحمد لله القائل في محكم تنزيله كل من عليها فان ويبقى وجه ربك ذي الجلال والإكرام الحمد لله القائل في محكم تنزيله كل نفس ذائقة الموت وإنما توفون أجوركم يوم القيامة فمن زحزح عن النار وأدخل الجنة فقد فاز وما الحياة الدنيا إلا متاع الغرور أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله ونبيه وصفيه وخليله نعاه من فوق 7 سماوات فقال له إنك ميت وإنهم ميتون ثم إنكم يوم القيامة عند ربكم تختصمون اللهم إنك عفو تحب العفو فاعف عنا. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the giver of life and the taker of life. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who gives beginning and the one who gives end. And our salat and salam to the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, who was told from above the 7th heaven, innaka mayyitun wa innahum mayyitun. You are going to die. Just like everybody else, you are going to die just like those who died. And then, before you Lord on the day of judgment, there will be a debate. There will be arguments. I did and I did not. I told and I told not. And so on. The Prophet ﷺ told us, أكثروا من ذكر هادم اللذات. Increase the remembrance of the destroyer of the pleasure, and that is death. We are going to talk about death, and that means same. It is a state of life. Birth is the beginning of opening a door. Death is the beginning of opening a door. And life is a pause between these two doors. When we are born, a door is just being opened into this life. And when we die, a door is opened into that life. And what we call life is a pause in the room between these two doors. We call that life. And when I say I want to talk about death, I want to put an image in your mind. And this happened 3 weeks ago, back home, when I was told the day number 6 of the little girl, Latifa Sanfo, that is her name. After 6 days, when tomorrow was going to be the Aqiqah, before tomorrow, the mother died. Her first birth. Latifa survived, and the mother is gone. And due to that shock, the father got a mental shock, and he became mentally ill. Can we see the impact of death? The beginning of the life of Latifa was the end of the life of her mother, and the mental death for her father. But Latifa is fine. الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. Both death and life is but a test, and we just want to win both. Some people succeed and prosper by death, and some people lose and go into eternal misery by life because they have abused the purpose of life. And when they abuse the purpose of life, they die because they are already dead. And how to abuse the purpose of life? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, in the Hadith Qudsi, أول من مات من خلقي إبليس عصاني فمات بالمعصية. The first one to die from among my creation is Iblis. He disobeyed me, and he died by that disobedience. So the only way really to be dead is when we move against the purpose we have been created for. That is a real death. When we live every single day with a rebellious mind and say no to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Otherwise, good people live beyond graves. Good people don't die. إنما ينقلون من دار أعمال إلى دار شقوة أو رشاد. People are not dying, they have been moved from the world of activity and deeds to the world of misery or happiness. That is all that is happening. And I believe, maybe to you too, more people are dead walking on earth, and we can reflect on ourselves. It is very scary to be alive today. Why? Because the deviation is so severe, and Shaitan made many things fair-seeming, and it looks like life, but it is death. أَفَمَنْ زين له سوء عمله فرآه حسنا فإن الله يضل من يشاء ويهدي من يشاء فلا تذهب نفسك عليهم حسرات إن الله عليم بما يصنعون. And this is the most dangerous thing can happen. When I'm doing wrong things in my life, but I was told it is okay, and I'm convinced it is okay, and I will not remember anymore. This is a real death. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He made the statement for every living one to know, كل نفس ذائقة الموت وإنما توفون أجوركم يوم القيامة. Every soul shall taste death. Full stop. And the only way not to die is never to be alive from the first place. But as long we live, the journey will continue to death, which is the real beginning of the real life. So death is not a problem yet. Yet it is the biggest problem, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said so. In antum darabtum fil ard fa'asabatkum musibatul maut. Musiba has been mentioned in the Quran, but not to a specific thing. But when it comes to death, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called it musibatul maut, the calamity of death. So it is a musiba. But it is a door we have to go through. But what comes after death? That when the Quran says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد. What have you prepared for after death for tomorrow? This is the thing wise people will use this time to prepare for. What have I prepared for me tomorrow? When life begins. And life begins when we are dead. To be alive, and the only way to be alive is when we make sure, when we hear the adhan, and we remember what the Prophet ﷺ told us to say, Allahumma rabba hadhihi ad-da'wati at-tamma. O Allah, the Lord of this perfect announcement and call. So adhan is perfect announcement and perfect call. But we can make it not perfect anymore when we deny it. Adhan is a bell to see if I'm alive or not. Every bell in life has a message for us. But sometimes we ignore the bells of life until the bell of death comes. And we have no more time to bring back what we lost. Growing up is a bell. And I was telling the boys, you seeing yourself growing into having mustache and beard, it is a bell from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Your voice changing is a bell from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Live up to that. He is preparing you to become a man, a real man. And manhood is a title, not a gender, to become a real man that Allah called Rijal. And the girls, when you see the red message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is a bell that you are growing into a woman, a real woman who will become a wife and a mother, creating civilization. Don't ignore these bells, because when Malakul Maut will bring his, and he will say to me and to you, Yabna Adam, Tuftul Mashariq wal Magharib, li'ajid laka Luqmata Aishin falam ajid, O son of Adam. I have been everywhere to make sure that before I take your soul, is there any food left for you to eat before you die? But I found none. I have been everywhere to make sure if there is any water for you to drink before you die, but there is none. and then he will do his job. This is a bell. وَجَاءَتْ سَكْرَةُ الْمَوْتِ بِالْحَقِّ ذَلِكَ مَا كُنْتَ مِنْهُ تَحِيدٌ. The truth came now. Al-yaqeen. حَتَّى أَتَانَا الْيَقِين. Until the yaqeen comes. And that is the death. This is a dark image about death, but it is not dark. If it was, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not allow the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam to live only 63 years on this planet. That means it is not dark, it is bright, but we are the one to make it bright or dark. And we want to go through the bright gate of history to be alive. بارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن الحكيم وجعلنا وإياكم من الذين يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله ثم الحمد لله. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. عباد الله، قال تعالى: إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد، وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Dear Muslims, to summarize, I say we spoke about the dark gate of death, but we don't want to go through that door. We want to enter the history from the wide, bright gate, the way the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam did, the way the Sahaba did, and the righteous people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One day the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam was sitting down, and some part of the community in Medina, the Jewish community, were passing with the janazah. And the Prophet ﷺ stood up, and they said to him, "It is a Jew." And he said, "No, it is a human being. Respect death." And with his own people, the Prophet ﷺ heard them talking about someone who died, and they spoke well about him. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Wajabat, it is due, for sure." And when he was asked later, "What do you mean, wajabat?" and he said, "You spoke well about someone who died. That person will go to Jannah." And then he said to them, "Antum shuhada'ullahi fil ard." You are the witnesses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on earth. Remember who we are. We have to be reliable witnesses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we have to testify, and we have to give credit when credit is due. What I'm trying to tell and remind you, not really remind you, to bring to the attention, the global news that is going on about the Emir of Kuwait who has gone. And to me, for the first time to hear, my colleagues, we studied together in Syria, in Saudi Arabia, and we are connected through the social media. And everybody from every corner of the world is saying, "This man, he is the prince of humanity." This is enough for mankind, East and West, to talk about you like that. After Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made you famous, well-known, rich, and same people speaking of you after you are gone, and that's why we say good people who live beyond themselves, they live beyond graves and they don't die. And that many African community They call this type of people the Zamani, those people who will be as long as time is there. And we can call them into mind and create their likeness in art, but we don't. We witness for their goodness before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I will not say much about the Amir, not because we think of the help he did for this masjid to stand up, but because of the global witness, billions and more he did using his post as a leader to remind mankind about peace and being a human being. I will not say much because the Mufti of Australia, on behalf of all the Imams of Australia, on behalf of the Muslim community, on behalf of humanity, he said it. And if you want to read it, you read it. If I try to say something, I may make a mistake. But let great people talk about one another, and I'm not among them. All I can say is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. And now it is up to the people of the world, to the women of the world, and the people of Kuwait in a specific way to accept that this man is dead. How can we kill someone when we drop the baton he gave to us? He paid a lot to make it be in our hand. When we ignore his legacy, then we kill people. It is up to us to decide for his legacy to continue. Life ends and legacy begins. But as I said, it is not a praise, but to be a reliable witness. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that, Antum shuhada'ullahi fil ard. I don't know him, and maybe you don't, but those who know him spoke over the years, and we leave it up to that. And I will close with this. The Prophet ﷺ said, Uzkuru mahasina mawtakum. When people pass away, talk about the best they have achieved in their life. Allah knows who they are. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept him. Because as we know, a job is not done when it is completed, but it is done when it is accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَا شَهِدْنَا إِلَّا بِمَا عَلِمْنَا وَمَا كُنَّا لِلْغَيْبِ حَافِظِينَ. We only witness to what we know, but what is beyond, only Allah knows. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم أحسن ختامنا وأخرجنا من الدنيا المسلمين. اللهم أحسن ختامنا وأخرجنا من الدنيا المسلمين. اللهم اجعلنا من الذين يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. اللهم اجعلنا من الذين يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. اللهم اجعلنا من الذين يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. اللهم اشف مرضانا وارحم موتانا واقض الدين عنا وعن المدينين واقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
استووا للصلاة استووا ولا تختلفوا استووا صفوفكم. الله أكبر. الحمد لله.